Good evening, everyone. Looks like we got a nice, lovely race between vorpalll and sybrg here, out of Group Decora. We're about to get ready and start this race. We'll see what we need to do. Get it going. Both runners about ready on the start game. Looks like it's already starting.
Yeah,
it's like I'm late to the party already.
Just in time here. Do you have that link, Busta, for me? I seem to have lost it.
Yeah, one second.
That new thing we're using. Thank you.
So I'm gonna say good luck to both of our runners, and may the best one win. sybrg pulling ahead with a small time advantage. I'm not really sure whether to say like cyborg or sybrg or sybrg. I'm not really sure what to say on that one.
I think we're pretty safe with sybrg.
Alright, like an iceberg with size. I can feel it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I used to have size when I was a kid. My dad bought them for me.
I'm sorry. That's just such a. I'm not even sure what you're talking about. What do you mean size?
It's an old. It's
what Raphael uses.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Okay. I had no idea what you were talking about. I was just what? I don't like how that was a clarification.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, Retro. Thanks for joining us.
No problem. We're gonna have more commentators and racers tonight, from what it looks like.
I think that's how you spell it. We'll see. Someone will correct me, I'm sure, if I'm wrong.
Just Google it quick. Yep, that is correct.
I guess we should ask for a sync time.
We're actually using a different. Let me just copy and paste this for you. I'll send you a PM. We're using a different way to sync up here. Actually, a lot easier.
Oh, nice.
That Feasel set up for us, so we don't have to sync it up every time using the live streamer.
Looking at the groups here, it does look like vorpalll is actually seated ahead of sybrg here.
Yeah, so vorpall's seated at number 40, where sybrg is seated at 56. Let's take a look at their PBs here. Vorpalll with a PB of 54 minutes and 3 seconds, and sybrg with a PB of 58 minutes flat. So it's looking like about 3 minutes 56 seconds here, separating the two players.
I'm very interested to see how vorpalll does in this run. I know he's a very, very, very old runner, and he's been around for quite some time. We'll see if he's still up to speed.
Up to snuff.
Up to par. Either way, so far in this race, it's pretty much screen for screen to this point. Both runners opting to fall in the same pit.
Yeah, putting them pretty much, yeah, keeping exactly the same pace here. Both vorpalll and sybrg going for the wall jumping climb.
Ooh. pesky pirates giving Vorpal some trouble here. See if I can find some other alliterations.
Sassy Cyborg struggling silently.
It was a rather sibilant sentence you got there, Anaconda. Alright. Oh, Cyborg missing a missile on the missile drawer. That doesn't mean he has to go back and not even having full health. Doesn't mean he has to spend a lot more time getting.
Might be a little bit of a blessing in disguise here. Hopefully, going to have a better bomb trees, and because of that, getting full health beforehand. As in this game, drops are you are given drops of an item type if you do not have maximum of it. So since they do have full health now, they will only be getting missile drops from bomb trees, though, instead of a combination of both. However, Vorpal is getting some health drops because he did take some damage during the fight, as well as Sybrg. So he will have a little bit of trouble. He will need to be doing some extra farm sessions here to get the missiles that he needs.
Looks like Vorpal's entering the Terminator room at this point. Angle down, hold down, shoot. If you have enough velocity, you'll take out those 3 Gamers on the way down. And he grabs the E-Tank. Looks like Sybrg not too far behind if he can get out of Alcatraz.
Yeah, shoutouts to Forensics for that Terminator strat.
And that strat makes the room name, man. It's just like him walking in with the shotgun. T2, just keep shooting.
Oh man, I never really put 2 and 2 together, but that's
that's the link, man.
That movie is so good. T2, definitely my favorite Terminator of the series. Subsequently, making my favorite scene in Wayne's World, the scene where the cop comes up and asks them if they've seen this boy, and they scream and drive away.
Yeah. Man, that's 2 Wayne's World references I've heard in the past week. What is going on?
Was the other one, hey, no stairway? Or was it something else?
No, I think it was something else. That's now 3. All right, that's my Wayne's World quota for the rest of the decade.
Also, it looks like Vorpal got the fast drop on both of those crumble blocks. For those that may not know, you can actually go through those crumble blocks faster if you're in Samus's turn animation. The easiest way to do that is by pointing down and hitting the opposite direction of where you're actually facing. You'll turn instantly when you hit those crumble blocks, and you'll go through faster. As you can see, there's from Sybrg, you actually went through faster on the second one as well compared to the first.
Yeah, and the reason Retro states that you should aim down first is because when you aim down, your turning animation is actually longer than if you aren't aiming down. So it gives you more of a window to actually be able to be turning once you hit those blocks. I apologize, Underwatcher. I do not have any Grey Poupon. Otherwise, I would pass it.
Vorpal and Sybrg still maintaining. Sybrg still maintaining a pretty consistent pace with Vorpal. It's still at this point very, very close.
Absolutely.
Another fatality to the item acquisition crash. Saw this first evidence of typo.
Oh man, the infamous crab supers.
I'm sure that wasn't. I'm sure it's just his stream lagging up, but hopefully it'll be
okay.
back soon.
I'm sure when it comes back, we'll see Cyborg and Turian.
Looks like Sybrg is actually going up to, or I'm sorry, Vorpal's going up to get Spazer, everyone's favorite beam.
I don't know, man. Not quite my favorite.
I know, man. I'm also on Team No Spazer, but there's some people that they just love that damn beam.
As Vorpal heads into crates there, it's interesting to see what strat he'll choose to open these super blocks.
So I can't really tell. It looks like he has 3 supers, which is fine.
Yeah, he does.
There, but he opts to just go for conserving his super missiles there. You can opt for a 3 super entrance to Kraid's Lair, where you blow out all of those super blocks, and you can maintain your speed and jump all the way across without having to fall in the pit. Wants to go in with full super missiles for Kraid, maybe because he wants to do the taking quite a bit of damage there from Mini Kraid, but that's totally fine. He's still got plenty of health to not get a health bomb.
So you say that.
Super
oh god! And then with the super missile. So he does. Okay, so it does seem either he's going for the missile backup or that is what he intended.
Just answering
well
a
done.
quick comment in chat. Mini Kraid actually does drop 5 items, and if you do not happen to have full supers after Mini Kraid dies and you run straight through her, hit it, I don't know, whatever it is, then you can just come on back for a second and just wait, and you'll get that 5th extra drop, which has the same drop chance as the rest of Mini Kraid's drops, which is almost always supers. Which is why vorpal went back for that super drop.
Except, of course, when you're me in a race setting in a marathon, get marathon luck and have one of those drops be a health drop.
Shoutouts.
Shoutouts to marathon luck. And
Looks like Vorpal opting to get the Kraid tank then for a little bit of safety earlier on in this run. And sybrg still, at this point, looks like his stream is still locked up. Vorpal getting one of the nicest looking mock balls in the run. Always feels good whenever you get that one.
Vorpal deciding actually to open up the door to ice early, but not go in there. Not sure if he's gonna actually end up getting an early ice beam, or if he's just opening it because he wants to he wants to have more supers going into Lower Norfair later. An interesting choice, seeing as how supers are a hot commodity early on in this run. But he does have plenty to make it all the way through to Speed Booster. So it's not like he's really slowing himself down that much.
Now, no matter how bad his missile count may be going into the Speed Booster hallway, he can always grab the Missiles of Shame, which I don't believe we've seen this tournament so far.
Not that I can recall, no.
I think there was one that I was commentating. I do believe it was grabbed in one instance.
Now, we grant that we've seen plenty of Power Bombs of Shame down in Lower Norfair, but the Missiles of Shame are a bit more a rare commodity.
I think it's pretty safe to say that by the end of this tournament, maybe even by the end of the round robin stage, we'll have seen pretty much everything there is to see. We've already seen lots of crazy things happening this tournament, so you know what? I take that back. We've seen a lot of things that I did not expect to see at all. Like, let's just, shoutouts to map station strats.
Shoutouts to Crockmeyer and Grapple.
Yeah,
never expected that.
Never expected that, so you know what? Who knows what we're going to be seeing, and if we're going to see it all.
I think we've had a rip to everything. I think there was a Bomb Teresa rip in one of the matches as well.
Yes, there was. There has been rips to, even in one cast that I did, there was a rip to at least one time to every boss. I'm not sure if there's been a Bomb Teresa death, or Batoon death. I'm sure there has been.
Not that I can recall, but that you'd think that some people going in there taking that damage and not being mindful of the acid that he spits. I mean, it's happened a bunch during a couple of the races I've done in the past as well, so it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility.
No, nothing is when you speedrun Super Metroid.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, Cyborg's internet's still not able to reconnect him.
Are we seeing him in the race channel? Is anyone in the race channel?
No, he's not in the race channel currently. So it does seem to be more of a internet issue than anything else from Cyborg.
Yeah, must be. This is a normal fanfare time of like 7 minutes, going on 8 now.
I will admit, after seeing that happen to Typo at the Crab Supers, everyone's just a little paranoid and on edge that maybe there was some kind of SNES freeze.
I certainly hope you're not firing any shots at 100% cans.
You know he's not. You know he likes 100% as much as you do.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I don't think anybody can like 100% just as much as me. As I.
As we see vorpalll about to head out of Norfair. His health and ammo looking excellent at this point, courtesy of all those
as in
drops.
Practically perfect, yeah.
Only missing a few missiles here and there, but that's not too big of a deal at this point.
Really, it's not at all. So, I mean, he didn't really end up losing. I didn't see how many times he chose to farm at...
Quite a few. He did get messed up on the speed booster farm. They were not very generous to begin with.
Okay, so he is opting to get early ice, it looks like, so he did open that door for a reason.
Yeah. Well, of course he opened it for a reason. But, yeah, just unsure of when he would be grabbing it. I wonder if his rationale is he just wants to make sure that he has full super missiles go into Rex ship, actually. So he chooses to open it beforehand so he can farm and not use that extra super afterwards. So he knows he has the chance to get it earlier. Not a bad idea, actually. Man,
I love seeing these old strats. vorpalll, remembering all of these strats, they used to be so common when you, oh man,
I have not, yeah.
Jumping over and freezing that,
the Nova?
Freezing that Nova.
That's not something I've seen. It's before my time, or before I paid that much attention.
Also, we didn't mention it, but him coming into the area with the trippers, which are those floating platforms, was an excellent speedball he used to get across those platforms very quickly. Speedball being able to maintain speed booster speed while in morph ball form.
Looks like we're about to see Alpha Spark here.
That is a beautiful Alpha Spark.
I do have a problem with the naming. That's okay. Nailing that there. With still plenty of health. His health is excellent right now.
Climbing that red tower, easy up those rippers.
Easy every time.
Directly deboosting into that Vile Plume.
But Samus Eater, man, that was a beautiful thing. It's raw talent, you can't teach that.
The accuracy on that deboost was impeccable in my opinion. In terms of the Samus Eater's point of view.
You cannot teach that indeed, Retrophile. This is something that our old player vorpalll here just teaches himself, taking the damage from that caterpillar there. Quite unfortunate for him. However, he just continues on, our player on the left-hand side here. He knows how to get by with a little bit of health.
Well, we saw Alpha Spark. Now, will we see Ocean Fly as well? Is the question. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Well, he's got super selected. Oh, no, deselected. He's playing with my emotions. So it looks like he's going to use the 2-spark method. He's going to have to do a short charge out here by tapping on a certain frame during Samus's run animation. But instead of doing full Ocean Fly, even though this is a little slower, he'll be able to maintain a little more health going into Fantoon just to give a little bit of an extra buffer.
Yeah, and right now he's got nearly 200 health. He's got excellent health right now. He can, you know, just with even 2 small health drops in Fantoon, he can take 10 hits from Fantoon and his flames, each dealing 20 points of damage.
And he's even opting to even be more safe by farming those atomics as well, which is actually a good decision.
Farming those atomics for
nothing. For nothing. Wow. Is this... Okay, I was about to say, that was incredible. Getting one drop, getting one a big health drop from those 4 atomics is not very common.
He's walking in with 212, which is a pretty safe bet for the most part, assuming that things don't go really terrible with the flames.
Oh, interesting. He did pick up Spazer, which indicated to me that he would be doing the Spazer strat for Fantoon, but turns it off in favor of looking like X-Factors.
Yeah, that's what it seems to be.
He may be using that as a backup then for Bot Wound if things don't go well there.
Bot Wound and Dragon Eye, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful X-Factor to start on the first pattern, on the first round.
vorpalll incredibly surprised, spoiling a little bit here, wondering how he got that X-Factor.
I'm pretty sure he actually said, oh, did I get that?
I was right on the edge there. And oddly enough, I mean, once Fantoon is in his rain position like that, and when he's actually in the center, if you shoot him from there and just stand in the center holding the X-Factor, he will connect with you. But him pulling him around like that actually added some more velocity, so I was actually very surprised to see him get that.
Adding velocity and entertainment value.
It's all about the swag.
Yeah, unfortunately, vorpalll laying a power bomb there. Exiting Fantoon, that's actually really not that great for him. His power bomb count is going to suffer as a result of that. He's going to probably hope for some power bomb drops from the crabs outside of gravity. After gravity.
And directing our attention to the right-hand side of the screen here, we see sybrg just grabbing Charge Beam, trailing quite a bit behind our other racer here.
I'm pretty sure I speak for everyone at this point that that image is going to be ingrained in our retinas this evening. I can only hope that once the stream resumes, if he's in that position, that he gets up in 2 after this.
I should certainly hope so, Retrophile.
I mean, if he does, it'd be well worth it, right?
Wait.
Yeah. On the same brain length there. vorpalll opting for some deboost strats, and ooh, let's see if he even got this gutter ball. I'd be
Garrison
very,
gutter
very
ball
interested
hype.
to see how that worked.
Yeah.
Pulling out the old strats, man. I love it.
if we do see the Garrison Gutterball if work here, that he did get grabbed by the Chozo, and then supposedly got the bomb exploded, and then the normally when a bomb explodes and you're close to it, it propels you, so that propulsion is stored, so should propel him as soon as he regains control here. If it did work, putting him up at the door. Oh, not quite getting it there. It should have propelled him up.
Oh
my god, almost runs past
Oh!
gravity suit.
My goodness.
I think I speak for a lot of runners when I say that's a mistake you make once. It's very, very easy to make, to be honest. vorpalll looks like he's
on the edge of
doing some
disaster.
new route strats.
Terrible.
It's interesting since the advent of new route and its rise in popularity. I've noticed a lot of old route runners are attempting or doing new route strats that are harder or not faster than the old route strats. It's an interesting meta change, in my opinion.
I believe you made mention to that during one of the previous races we saw this evening, where someone was actually attempting to do lava spark even though they had space jump.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple of times coming out in this, actually. People attempting lava spark for the swag.
I think someone also did the metal pirate sparks in Modern Warfare. Which, more power to you if you can do them. It's just not faster than the plasma strat. Either way, we see vorpalll heading down Red Tower, going to Meridia at this point.
There was a question in chat: what actually happened when he ran through gravity? So, when you shoot out a block that's covering up another, like an item, they're like, you know, for in that instance a Chozo ball. When the block is disappearing, it's just acting as a shot block, and so you are able to actually run right through it before the item hitbox has appeared. Which, you know, once you move into it, triggers the acquisition fanfare. So there isn't a way, you know, with enough speed, breaking that block at just the right time, you can actually run right through before the items hitbox is there. And in some cases, you know, open the door and run right on out, having to go all the way back through the whole entire wreck ship, back through bowling, wasting a lot of time to get back there to gravity. As Susta said, you make that mistake one time and you make sure never to let it happen again.
vorpalll showing these newer runners what it means to have run this game for a very, very long time. Really, really cool strats coming out in Tube Room.
Uh-oh, vorpalll going for the dangerous crab supers.
And running on that Tube Room, making sure that the tube doesn't break until you press an input if you're just running. So he just keeps on running when it explodes and then jumps at the right moment. Helps him get a little bit higher up to start with. Not comfortable with his health here. vorpalll opts to kill the two crabs. Either that, I was looking for power bombs.
Plenty of power bombs at
full
this
now,
point,
yeah.
looks like.
It looks like he's full now.
That YouTube video is worth a watch. That Leodox just unintentionally triggered from Gbot.
Now, with him grabbing Crab Supers and Spazer, I mean, he has plenty of backup strats at his disposal for both Botwoon and Dragon at this time, so we can imagine this is going to be very safe.
And yet he's still going for X-Factor strats. I'm dying to see where this Spazer will help him in this run.
I don't think any of those connected.
Sitting at 44 health right now. I think he's going to switch to
tell.
Spazer right now. Yep, there we go, Ice Spazer.
He does clean up Botwoon with ease after training on Spazer, so I guess that's putting my foot in my mouth at that point, showing that Spazer can have a use in vorpallll's run.
Looks like he'll be stopping the farm. He's going with 5 supers to begin with. We'll see what kind of luck he gets. The farming supers here is it's definitely a crapshoot. Sometimes you'll hit the jackpot. Other times you'll be sitting there for rounds and rounds on end. And while you're sitting there, time is definitely ticking by, and you don't even know it because you're just sitting there mashing the button. An amazing amount of time can go by just looking to farm supers up to full.
Seeing in chat here, Cyborg is frozen. I didn't actually notice this. Cyborg's still stuck at Charge Beam. My goodness.
I think this might impact his chances of winning this race here.
I think it's putting him. It's at this point really risking his chance at winning. Yes, like you put it perfectly, Fuzda. I don't know if he could come back from this. This is a pretty large deficit.
No, I'm not sure about that, Anaconda. That's a little extreme at this point. I don't think we can make that assumption.
The strategy he's going for here is that vorpalll has not made a safety save at this time. If he rips, Cyborg will jump right back in, and he has that bigger of a lead at this point. He's just waiting to see what happens.
We do actually, in all seriousness, we do have, excuse me, vorpalll stream is back, but it is not playing properly on the restream. Yes, apparently his or sybrg or whatever the heck. I don't know the names. Sybrg stream is apparently up and running, but on the restream it is not.
I think we decided early on in the race that is actually in fact sybrg. Was I incorrect on that one?
Did we decide that? I don't know. Alright, hopefully we're getting a refresh here, and we are having some technical difficulties, but that's okay. Sometimes it happens. Unfortunately, missing Womple Jump, you are able to maintain your running speed from the previous room and jump all the way past that really large platform at the beginning of the Coliseum here, making it through just a little bit faster. However, it is somewhat difficult, and vorpalll there bonking on the ledge.
That Yak Attack. Showing vorpalll who's boss here. Taking 3 entire missiles to kill.
Neo, the Cack Attack.
The return. The return to the king.
I guess Dingus was lying to us then. Gosh, little Dingus giving us the improper information, making me look like a noob.
And we can see that vorpalll here is going into the Cassius room at this point. Opting to kill one enemy. You can actually go through that entire room without shooting a single shot and making it through there with no damage.
It's
about
okay,
to pick up.
Dingus.
About to pick up Plasma Beam, which I believe triples the attack power.
Yes, indeed. Well, triples compared to having Spazer with Wave and Ice. You want a roll call? Okay. My name is Wildly Anaconda 69.
My name is Retrofile TV.
And I've been with you for most of today, and my name is Fuzda.
There's a request for your best Obama impression, Retro.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to do that. Thank you. I've been asked to do a bunch of things like Morgan Freeman, Obama, stuff like that. I'll pass on that. I'm not very good at impressions at all.
Must be good if people are asking you. Are you just being modest?
I'm trying to be, I guess. The only thing I ever slip into is the inadvertent Christopher Walken. But all that aside, it looks like vorpalll is heading down now to make the trek to Lower Norfair. He's already grabbed ice, so it's just going to be a path down to see what's going on. He's got, obviously, plenty of supers to work with, a decent amount of health. We'll have to see if he takes... Yep, okay, he's going to take the conventional way as opposed to the lower route.
sybrg here looking like he got the frame perfect or near perfect pause glitch here. If you end up pausing the game and entering a door transition when the screen is black, it actually stays black for the duration of that room. So I don't know. He must be staying in the same room or something. Doesn't know where he is. He's probably stuck.
This is a technique
we can't really see either.
This is a technique similar to avoiding people from screen looking. Right now, he doesn't want vorpalll to see what progress he's at this time. So, as Fuzda mentioned early on, he will pop up during Torian toward the end of the run.
He's really just guarding
screen
his
looking
strats
is a
here.
crime, folks.
Yeah, that's a crime worthy of losing a friendship over.
Ender of friendship, screen looking, and Mario Party.
And Monopoly, let's not forget Monopoly.
Monopoly, oh yes, yes. We're all having fun here.
I wonder if vorpalll really knows that he's being a one-man show at this point.
Kidding aside, a lot of these runners in this tournament have actually been aware of where they are standing in terms of the other runner that they're racing with.
Yeah, a lot of them. Oh, sorry.
This could put some pressure on vorpalll, to be honest, not even having access to that information at all. If he is used to that or was planning on being used to that. Either way,
that is some good information. That is some good information to have. But I can say that during my race with Timon, I actually blocked out everything. I just focused on the run that I had. I didn't even know that he ripped a Fantoon as well. I didn't know he continued. And I was also talking with Old School Tribe, and he said that during his run, he blocked out everything as well and wasn't paying attention to the actual race at that time. It was him and his game, as he said.
Yeah, a lot of people, as Fusta said, do actually opt to watch the stream, or at least watch the restream, so they can hear commentary and just see where their opponent's at. I think a lot of players can find some solace in that, and it reduces some nervousness or anxiety. For me personally, I think it's more of a. I see it more as an unfair advantage in some circumstances, but again, that's just my own personal opinion. There are no rules governing whether or not you can watch the other person's streams.
Of course. I mean, from a tactical standpoint, I mean, do you opt for the safety save, and to save time? How close are you? I mean, it does play into decisions that you make during the run itself, as opposed to if you had no information.
That's exactly the example that I use. Like if I'm watching my opponent and I'm pretty far ahead, and I think that I might like get sniped at Mother Brain 1, I might opt to take a safety save if I know I have tons of time. Otherwise, if I didn't, maybe I wouldn't have taken that save. Anyway, it's up to every player, whatever they're comfortable with. So we see vorpalll farming quite a bit here, getting a lot of health. Excuse me, a lot of health drops. He's full up on supers. Supers are higher DPS on versus Ridley, so we might see him opt to use some supers here, or he's just going to go for the standard 20 charge shot kill. not really sure. I guess he's farming for full health. I guess that's what he really wants right now.
Yeah, I'm very interested in that, considering the level of play we've seen from vorpalll so far. It doesn't seem like he'd be the type of player to really need 499 energy for Ridley.
Yeah, he's been playing really well in this run, you know, so I wouldn't have thought that that's something that he would have really wanted for himself. But again, like, it all just depends on his own knowledge of where he's at, how comfortable he is with his play, you know. I know I personally tend to, when I'm under pressure
Ooh.
or stressful situations, I underestimate my abilities, things that I normally can do no problem. I think, oh, I probably shouldn't do this. And you know, that can definitely. I can't speak for all players. I can't speak for vorpalll, of course. You know, that might be something that he's feeling right now.
Well, coming back to vorpalll, this Ridley fight was a little sketchy to start with. Taking a number of hits and not getting too much damage in on Ridley, but switching to supers now, he seems much more comfortable. Just unloading supers on Ridley.
Ridley
This
is
does
nice.
mean he will be hurting on supers for Turian after this, depending on what Ridley drops him.
Yeah, Ridley being
Oh,
very
Ridley.
nice there early on with the supers, just sitting there.
Oh my
What
God.
is happening?
Moving.
Wow.
Wow, vorpalll getting bodied over and over by Ridley. That was like 3 or 4 times at 40 damage a pop. There's quite a bit of extra energy that he's not going to have. He might just end up grabbing the tank. No, he is not. He is just going to head on out with what he has. The lower Norfair escape with Plasma Beam is pretty safe. There's really not a whole lot that can take you out. Really, the main things that are going to be hurting you in the escape without plasma, such as if players run a new route, or the key hunters. You can, however, manipulate them into patterns that are easy to dodge. But if you for some whatever reason mess up, they can be hitting you for 50 damage each. It can be quite scary. However, with plasma, you can hitbox and just run right through them by shooting them and running through them during the invulnerability frames.
Yeah, Plasma having the significant advantage over being able to two-hit kill anything with a charge shot in lower Norfair. I think the Key Hunters have... I believe they have 1800 health, which is a lot more charge shots for Ice Wave and Spazer or New Route.
It would be 9 or
6.
6.
Math is hard, folks. 155 health coming out of lower Norfair from what it looks like at this point. So I really can see that when he farmed up all that health and Ridley would refuse to pick him up. I mean, it was definitely the right choice. Anything can happen, and he wouldn't have his insurance policy. So farming just a little extra will save in the long run, assuming that he didn't make any safety saves yet. So erring on the side of caution here is definitely the right way to go.
Yeah, typically as far as safety goes, you're either going to see more energy or safety saves. Not really going to see both, unless there's a player who really wants to just take the absolute safest possible route. They really just don't want to. They really don't want to have to start over.
To answer a question in the chat, not sarcastically for once, yes. Cyborg is in fact not streaming because we believe he has lost internet, so it is currently just vorpalll.
Hey man, my sarcasm was appreciated by the majority.
Talking about drops right now, it does look like vorpalll, after using all of his supers on Ridley, having considerably less supers than we would normally see out of Old Route, having only 6 going to Turian, he'll have 5 if he when he opens that green gate, and if he does super that door going to Golden 4, he will have 4. Although he would probably opt at that point to missile that door.
And we do have to keep in mind, though, he did grab an extra missile pack along the way, as well as an extra super pack. So the extra missiles are going to help buffer his the amount of ammunition, or buffer the amount of supers that he needs to get from the Metroids, just a little bit. As missile drops, excuse me, are a lot more common than super missile drops are from the Metroids.
Vorpal opting to pick up a round of farming on his way out and exiting Meridia, entering the top of Brinstar, going to Quateria at this point. It's going to be a short jog down to Torian, and we'll see how things go. Assuming he picked up the Crab Supers pack and he gets some decent drops, he's going to have more than enough ammo to work with. So a soft lock should be very hard to attain during Mother Brain 1 at this point, unless that pesky turret decides to eat every single missile. Oh, almost gets the blue space dump strat to get through that wall instead of having to bomb it.
So we saw the ceiling just totally cut Vorpal's speed there. There are certain places in the ceiling that actually that are I guess the tiles in the ceiling actually are shaped in such a way they completely stop your momentum. So there are certain places where you can jump and just ride along the ceiling without that happening. We did see Vorpal pick up a super drop somewhere along the line. I did miss it, so he does have 21 and 6 going into Turian, with a maximum ammo count of 25 and 15. So we're gonna have to see something along the lines of somewhere above 20 and 6 is what we want him to have at the very bare minimum. Optimally around 20 and 9 or 20 and 10. But of course, with those extra missiles, those extra 5 missiles, you can eliminate a super missile from that mix. So even having 25 and 8 will even be able to get him through without having to farm extra missiles or refill his missiles after opening doors.
Oh, interesting. Cyborg is back in chat.
He is
Hopefully
back in chat.
we can see his stream pop up. I'm not sure if he runs on emulator or console. That could affect this severely.
Claiming that he has in fact died, and he has fixed his internet. I'm not sure what his plan is to continue. If he does have a choice, since he has died, he can continue on. I'm not in the race channel. I cannot see.
He's not yet rejoined the race channel, but vorpalll here having some difficulty with his last Metroid. Does manage to get it off him and has not much trouble in the second Metroid room.
Coming out with 25 and 8 out of the second Metroid room there, looking really good on drops. Getting his Metroid back, or his super missile back from each of these.
That is the point of this entire game, to get the Metroid back. That is correct, Anagon.
Yeah. Look at wow! Not getting a single super missile from those last Metroids. That is extremely unfortunate. However, he is still fine on ammunition. He still can get through here. With his 25 and 8, he still can get through without having to go back and farm his missiles, since he did get that extra missile pack after opening the doors. He can open all the doors with supers and continue going.
And that Metroid drop look. I mean, when it's not on your side, it is not on your side.
Well, it looks like he is opting to missile that first door, even though he did have 4 missiles worth of leeway with the 25 and 8.
Yes. I don't. So I'm not sure if you had seen in chat, sybrg, there is requests for you to go back to the race channel, and either continue to race or forfeit from the race. Either way, you do need to get back into the race channel. If you were in there, you type .forfeit.
vorpalll opting to opening this. Oh, okay, he's going back. Interesting. About to say, that's actually a net loss of ammo if you choose to open a missile door with missiles at this point instead of a super.
Yeah. Super missile dealing 300 damage, whereas missiles are 100, but 5 of them doing 500 damage, so that is a net loss of 200 damage on Mother Brain. There is a forfeiture penalty. Your race time, according to your timer, is not what is calculated when taking the median time. When calculating your seed of the top 2 players of each group in the round robin phase going into the round of 32 single elimination bracket. Should you forfeit, it's pretty much that time is not calculated. Your race time in the SRL race channel is. Should you forfeit, your time is automatically calculated as a 3-hour time. You need to put a dot in front of forfeit, sybrg. Period. A period in front of it.
In the SRL IRC race channel.
Yes. Both of those turrets looking right at vorpalll there. They wanted to shoot. They wanted it to shoot and snipe one of his supers or one of his missiles, but
It happens, man, when you least expect it. You can be staring at them the entire time. They can be pointing straight down, and then it'll be one frame, and they'll turn, and they'll point diagonal, and they will eat a missile, and of course it's going to be a super. Now, all joking aside that we had earlier on today, it is definitely a bad thing that we weren't able to see the race and see him actually die and go through. And that the last memory that we have was seeing the charge beam, and then from there it was the void. It looks like vorpalll having no trouble whatsoever with Mother Brain 2, avoiding the catch-up, taking the damage to get down to just above 3 tanks. So barring anything unforeseen with Mother Brain 3, with her going crazy with onion rings, I think we'll be good to go on the end of this run. We'll be smooth sailing, which is to see whether or not vorpalll decides to save the animals, taunt the animals, or just go out.
Straybear is coming out with telling us Super Metroid turrets, the originators of the 360 no scope. Definitely. I agree with that.
I guess answering a question in chat, Ace of Arrows. If you happen to have spare missiles from Mother Brain's final form, do they cause her damage before Rainbow Beam? Interesting question. I just want to point out a minor discrepancy in your question. First off, Mother Brain's final form, Mother Brain 3, after Rainbow Beam, is considered her final form, but what you're referring to is what's known as Mother Brain 2, and yes, ammunition does hurt her in that phase, but Charge Ice Wave Plasma does do more damage. And just in time, we got Cyborg's internet coming back up. And looks like it's frozen in the Crystal Flash animation. That's a change.
Crystal Flash, more like Crystal Crash.
Oh my god.
I really want to just kick you from the channel for that one.
One thing I'll point out here, just to get back to the game there for a second, vorpalll standing in the middle of the room as opposed to the back to reduce the lag frames that are generated when using Hyper Beam from across the room to Mother Brain 3, and taking care of her. And now the escape. We'll see what happens for the fate of the animals. Wild, we were very well aware of your save a real animal stance, but of course it is up to the discretion of the runner.
Yeah. Remove Wild, remove yourself.
It's
Get
probably a
outta
good thing
here.
I don't have the I don't have any discretionary powers in this tournament. Otherwise, I would probably just TQ everyone to save the animals. It's after all.
I would be right there with you.
For a moment there, the demo on sybrg's side actually trolled me. I thought he had picked back up
Charge me.
landing site.
There he is with that charging, killing that key hunter. After that 30-minute item fanfare.
Can't wait until my race. I've already mentioned in previous casts. I'm a little bit concerned what's going to happen when my races finally start. What people are going to be saying. Looks like we do see vorpalll just passing right on by. Wonderful choice.
Beautiful thing.
And finishing there with a time of, wow, what? Well,
With an official time of 56:15, it looks like on SRL.
at least he just barely managed to actually press down, according to him, knocking into his SNES, I guess, or something, kicking it on his way to press done on his computer.
And a GG to vorpalll finishing one.
And GG,
Finishing his
he
race.
did.
Looks like it's pretty close to his PB. Wouldn't you say it was a 55 something?
It was a 54:04.
Oh, never mind. Well, that's a little bit off, but hey, still not a bad
For-
run.
Yeah, for a race in front of such a wonderful large audience, 472 people. Very, very solid run from him. So definitely hats off to him. Hats off to sybrg as well. Give him some hype. Give him some appreciation in the chat there. You know, still going while simultaneously trying to fix his internet issues.
Yeah, tech support percent is not a category on Deer Tier. It's very difficult, though. I can sympathize. That being said, vorpalll with the frame perfect escape before kicking his SNES out of excitement to get the dot done in. But congratulations, he definitely got it in. Legitimate 56:15. GG to both of them and both the runners. Fantastic work.